A few years ago, I was going through one of the worst periods in my entire life. And one moment from this period that I remember distinctly, I'll describe to you right now. So it was my freshman year of high school, again, 3 years ago. And we had just started a new semester in school. And in this semester, I got put in this foods class, and I had transferred into it during, I think it was the 3rd week of school. So what happened was, the first few weeks go by, I was in this class, I decided to switch, whatever. But in this other class, there were a bunch of people in it who had already begun to make friends with each other. They had already started to talk to each other. They knew each other's names, all this stuff that happens in the first few weeks of school. And so I joined this class 3 weeks late, and what happens is I walk into the class for the first time, and I sit down in this seat. And the guy's seat that I took, his name was, let's say, Larry. I sit down in Larry's seat, and this guy next to me goes, "Oh, hey Larry, you've gained some weight." I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what this guy means, because I didn't know who Larry was. I didn't know who this guy was. This is my first time in this class. So I keep going on through the day, not really knowing what's up, and just every 5 minutes there's some kind of comment about my looks. Now keep in mind, back then, 3 years ago, I was 70, 80 pounds heavier than I am now. I was a little doughboy. And so this guy kept making comments about my weight over and over. This guy and this other guy, Larry. And so I think because when Larry got to class, it turns out I had been sitting in his seat. I didn't know. It was the 3rd week of school. He'd been sitting here every single day. So here I am, sitting in this guy's seat without knowing. That's what that comment came from. And so just day after day, over and over, throughout the entire semester pretty much, I'm just getting bullied, berated, criticized for my looks every single day, day in, day out. And so I kept thinking, I want to get revenge on these people. These people, I want to make them hurt. I want to make them hurt the way they made me hurt. They made me feel bad. I want to make them feel bad now. And so I began devising these little plans in my head to make them hurt. How can I get revenge on these people? And eventually, the plan that I came up with, the best course of action, was to do nothing. Was to do nothing at all. Was to accept the fact that they had won. And so, what do I mean by this? What I did was I started using that energy, that pain, and I did something good with it. I started going to the gym. I started improving my life. And what happened was I became 10 times better than I was back then. For a few years straight, I just used this pain, used this suffering that they had caused me, and I used it for good. I used it to start a YouTube channel about a year ago. I used it to go to the gym. I used it to make myself feel uncomfortable in various different ways. Feeling pain through a workout, feeling uncomfortable through talking to new people. I decided to challenge myself constantly, continuously, and what happened was I got better. Now, the best part about this story, the icing on the cake, was a few weeks ago, I was doing my normal workout like I had been doing for the past few years, and in walks in Larry, this guy who had originally sparked this whole villain arc, you could say, that had originally sparked this whole growth period in my life. And the best part about it was I'm a lot more muscular now. I'm a lot more skinny. I'm a lot more athletic, more fit than I was 3 years ago when Larry had been bullying me or whatever. And so in walks in Larry, and the best part about it was he didn't look like anything had changed about him. In fact, he looked worse from when he had bullied me 3 years ago. And I didn't say anything. I just made a little mental note about it. I got the last laugh because it's at this point now where if I were to go talk to him, he wouldn't even recognize me. He wouldn't even know I was the same person that he had been dealing with 3 years ago. I have become 10 times better, 20 times better compared to what I was back then. I got revenge on this guy through becoming better, because Think about it like this. If you were to take revenge on someone, if you were to make him hurt, if you were to insult him, if you were to spread a rumor about him, something, I want to cause him the same pain he made me cause. Doing that thing ultimately causes him a short burst of pain. Whereas if you do something like succeed, get everything he ever wanted, take the girl that he wants, get the success instead of him, you will make him hurt infinitely times more. If you take the thing that he believes he deserves and you earn it, you work for it, you put in that effort and that pain, and you actually get it, that is the best form of revenge. They're literally stuck sitting on the sidelines watching you win. If there's a better form of revenge, I'd like to know, because I don't think anything can top that. So if you are feeling vengeful right now, if you want to get revenge, if you want to make people hurt right now, I was just like you. But what happened was I used it for good. I channeled that negative energy and I turned it into something positive. I turned it into growth, into muscle, into extrovertedness, essentially. I used it for good and to improve my life. And that is the best way to get revenge. It's not some master plan. It's not some plan to destroy their reputation or their friends. It's something that lets you leave the hatred at the door and lets you begin a new journey of yourself. Lets you get on a path of self-discovery and self-growth that you would have never experienced otherwise. And for that reason, if you ask pretty much any person who's gone through the same story that I have, most of them say they're grateful for what happened to them. They're grateful for the people who put this pain on them. They're grateful for the people who caused this, because ultimately it caused so much good. It caused a period of growth. It caused a period of them becoming the best version of themselves that they could be. That's exactly what happened to me. And so for that, I'm grateful. And that's pretty much it. The best action, or the best way to respond to the evil of another person, if they're bullying you, if they're making fun of you, whatever, is to let the evil stop with them. You don't have to do the same things they're doing. You don't have to become like them in order to get back at them. You can simply acknowledge that they caused you pain, acknowledge the hurt that they did to you, and move forward. Use it for growth, use it for good. Turn their evil, their negativity into something good. And I believe that is the best way that you could possibly react to pain or hurt or anger, is to make it into something good. Turn it into something positive. If you like this video and other videos like this, scroll down, click the subscribe button, comment, like, whatever, boost the video on the algorithm. I'll see you later.